Hello guys, what the heck is today? Thursday, what the heck? Happy Thursday. If this is your first time ever tuning in, I am Tiffany Allen and I am an empowerment coach, and I help to empower women to really just take power, take control of their lives, take control of their mind, and really set themselves free to do whatever the heck they want to do. And I do a lot of things, I really do, and I'm making this video because I really feel it's important to talk about it, and I feel the call on my heart to talk about it. And I just want to say, if you're popping on, by the way, if you're popping on live, say hey, tell me how you are, and if you're watching the replay, say #replay in the comments so I know who you are and I know who tunes in, and so I can say hey and thank you for watching my video. By the way, don't worry about my hair. I brushed it out and now it's all woo, crazy. But hey Cornelia, happy Thursday. So today in this video I want to talk about how you are free to change. We are free to change, and there is so much that I can put into this, so I'm excited about it. But you are free to change. You do not have to be the same no matter what. You are free to move on. You are free to change 1,000 times in this lifetime, 1,000,000 times in this lifetime. You are free to yesterday wake up and say, you know what, I love that. I would love to do that. I love that. And then wake up today or tomorrow and be like, I don't want to do that. You are free to do that. And I'm freeing myself through my own process, and 1,000,000 times through this process. And it's a process that change is going to happen. You are meant to change. You are meant to be who you're wanting to be or who you desire to be. You are meant to go with the flow. We change because we're meant to grow. We change because we learn things. We learn things along the way about ourselves, about our situations, about what we want, and what you wanted last week may be totally different than what you want next week. And that's okay. And I come from this, I talk about this today because I'm coming from this experience currently of I've changed my niche 500 times. I've changed my focus. I've woke up one day and told myself, oh, I'm just going to focus on this area, and I'm going to talk about this area and of my niche only, and I'm going to put others on the side. I really love that too, but I'm supposed to be focusing on one thing, and I don't want to confuse people. But then I would wake up the next day and be like, you know what? I'm not really feeling that. I'm not really feeling that. I want to talk about something else. So I'm deciding that I'm going to allow myself to change, and I'm going to allow myself to take all the things that I'm passionate about, because I'm passionate about so much. I'm going to take it all in and talk about it all. Whatever floats my boat, I'm going to do it. And that's what I want to free other people to do. We live in this online space. We live in this world that everyone's supposed to do something some way, and there's only one way to do it. And if you do it other ways, or you believe in other things, or you see things differently, that's not supposed to be okay. We live in this world that makes you think that's not supposed to be okay. And that's a belief system in itself. You can change. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to be different. You are allowed to be flaky. You are allowed to change things up and shift. Because the minute that you allow yourself to yourself to change things up and to start to shift and to start to change things and go different ways and play with it, you're going to be shifting more and more and more into who you're meant to be, into who you've always been. Because me, if I would have stayed on my journey, I would be a beach body coach right now, and I probably would be unfulfilled. But in that moment, I was so happy to do that because it was something new to me. It was something I've never done before. It was pressing my buttons. It was pushing me into more. And then I decided, I don't really like this. I want something different. And I went into coaching, and I went into 1,000,000 niches, and I've changed things up. And every time that I change things up, I realize something different. Every time that I change things up, I realize and I learn and I see things differently, and I learn more about myself. so many of us are so disconnected with ourselves and so disconnected with this world and disconnected completely because we don't know who we are. We don't know what we actually enjoy because everything that we feel like we have enjoyed has been pressed on us from the beginning of time. So that's part of my mission. I have a lot of parts to my mission, but that's part of my mission, is getting women to realize that whatever you feel like you are here for is exactly what you're here for, and you're good enough to be here for that. But also, if you do not have a freaking clue what you're here for, there are ways to rediscover yourself. There are ways to reconnect with yourself. There are ways to figure out who you are. And sometimes that's just taking a step into a direction of the unknown that sounds fun, that sounds cool, and excites you, and also allowing yourself to know that this may not be it. This may not be it. And so many times I had to do that. So many times I had to jump into something. Okay, that sounds cool. That sounds exciting. I'm not really sure where I want to go. I don't really know what I want to do. I don't really know who I am or what excites me or what my purpose is or what I'm meant for, but I'm going to jump into something and I'm going to see what happens. And there's so much freedom in allowing yourself to freaking mess up. Hey, morning, Crystal. Morning, Athenia. But there's so much freedom in allowing yourself to mess up. Going into things like, oh, that sounds fun. But next week it may not sound fun. So it's okay to change that, and it's okay to stop that, and it's okay to put it away. I want you guys to realize that, because I come from this, I look at this, and as I talk about this, I realize it came from so many different areas of my life. I was a shy girl in school. Every day, I would go home and I would be myself, I would be loud, and I would be happy, and I would be excited, and I would just feel free to be me. But every time I went back to school, I would be in this room of people I didn't have a freaking clue who they were, and I didn't feel capable of being my true self, and I didn't feel capable of change. Like, I had been this shy girl, this quiet girl for so long. And every day I would be like, why can't I just be myself? Why can't I just be outgoing? Why can't I just talk and do my own thing and make friends and do this in school? And I had this thing in the back of my mind, and I still remember thinking it, that if I change, if I be different, if I go to school as a different person that what other people expect me to be or other people know me of being, it's going to be crazy. It's going to put me in the spotlight. It's going to be scary. And what if I put myself out there and then I don't like it? You know, and this is coming from a whole deeper level, deeper experience of my own. But I'm sure, let me know if you guys can resonate with this. Let me know if you guys get this, like what I'm saying. I hope it's coming across clearly. But so many times in my life, I wanted to do something but held myself back because what are other people going to think? What if I change? Because I'm completely different. I'm completely different a few years ago. Just a few years ago. And it's okay. And I welcome it. And I'm happy that I am, because more and more and more, as I step into what I want to do, I'm becoming more of who I'm meant to be, who I've always been. I'm uncovering things. And you have to let the fear go. You have to let the opinions of others go. You have to realize that it doesn't matter what people think or how many people think you're different now or you're changed now or how many times you can fail now. You have to go for what you want. And whatever you want is what you're meant to do in this moment. It may not be what you're meant to do in a year from now. But in this moment, whatever freaking excites you, I can't say this enough, but whatever excites you right now in this moment, do that. Do that. Period. Do that. Because what excites you right now is what you're meant to do right now. But you have to get yourself out of the fear. You have to get yourself out of the self-sabotage. Because self-sabotage is the biggest thing that I feel like holds everyone back. But once you break free from that, you start to relearn. You start to rediscover, me going into this doesn't really mean that even if I fail, even if it doesn't work out, that it's not meant for me or I'm a failure. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you tried something. You tried something that you thought would be fun, and then you figured out in trying it that it wasn't for you. So our life experience is definitely a growth journey, a learning journey. Like, that's what we're meant to be here for. Is to learn things and grow from things and fail things and try things out and do new things and be excited and be happy and figure out more and more of who we are and what we're meant to do and why we're here. And I've questioned why we're here for so freaking my entire life. I remember trying to have conversations with people like, why are we here? And no one understood. Like, I'm like, why? Like, look at this. It's weird. It's weird, but it's magical and it's amazing. And so many of us, and I'm going different ways in this video, but so many of us are so caught up in the money situation or the bill situation or the self-sabotage situation or beating ourselves up from the past situation or worrying about the future situation, anxiety, depression, like all of these feelings that we're feeling because of things that don't really even matter. And they feel like they matter. But look around you right now. I want you to look around yourself right now if you were listening to this video and look around. You're probably in a home. Or maybe it's not your own. Maybe you're renting. Maybe you're living with family. But you have a home. You have something over your head. Let me grab something. Like this pen. I heard this little like synonym, I don't know, analogy in this book, and I want to share it with you guys too. So I was reading this book listening to this book yesterday. He said he was in the breaking moments, and I want to share this with you guys because it was so amazing to me. He was breaking. He was homeless. He was struggling. Joe Vitale, that's his name. I hope I'm saying that right. He said he started to try to be grateful. He was trying to be grateful, and he was trying to be thankful for what he was going through, and it was really, really hard because he was homeless. He took this pen and he started joking around about it. And he said, and this is going to be deep, and this may trigger some people, so, like, get off if you don't want to be. But he said, he looked at this pen, and he started to be, joking rudely, like, playing around, but, like, being dumb about it, and, like, oh, this pen I'm so thankful for this pen. I'm so grateful for this pen. And then he started to try to go deeper. Wow. With this pen, I could write a suicide note. Or with this pen, I could write a story. With this pen, I could, oh, and then it was a pencil, so excuse the pen. But he looked at the end and he saw an eraser. He was like, oh, wow, I'm so grateful for this eraser. Like, this eraser could erase that suicide note. And it could, as I'm writing the story, it could change. It could change so many things as I'm writing that story. I could erase it. I could write it again. I could erase it. I could write it again. And then he started to have so much love for that pen because it was such an amazing thing. And I want to share this with you guys because it's so amazing that everything around you is literal energy. Everything around you is meant for you. Everything around you has so much power. And we go through our days going to work, getting in our car, and completely bypassing all the nature. Completely bypassing all the things we're grateful for because we're in the moment and we're struggling and we're feeling stuck and we're feeling shitty. So I challenge you today to go into your life today and look at things, little things you may have never noticed before in your life. Little things that are freaking amazing. Go into that. Go into the detail of that. Joke around at first. Like, oh, I'm grateful for that piece of wood over there on the wall, that shelf. But wow, it's holding my picture. It's holding a picture so where I can look at it and I can have good feelings as I see my family in that picture. And like, that's how deep we can go. And we are meant to go deep. We are meant to question things. We are meant to change. I dropped the pen, hold on. We are meant to change. And you changing has nothing to do with anyone else. Like I was saying, I have my daughter, and me and her dad are separated. He came over one time and he, like, I was pulling cards, I think, and he was like, whoa. And then I lit sage and he was like, whoa. And then he looked at my daughter. He's like, your mom's kind of crazy, huh? And she was like, no. And I was like, yeah, this is me now. Like, this is me now. And she sees it as me now. And it didn't like, you know, go fully into his mind. Like, he didn't understand it because for our entire relationship, he's seen me as this person that, you know, wasn't really confident, didn't really believe in herself, didn't feel worthy of anything, really had a hard time grasping that I could have a different life, that I could actually be truly happy and in love with everything around me. And then now we're separated, which is, you know, part of it, part of the journey. But it's like now he sees me as this spiritual, like, I light sage and I deeply connect with things around me, and I really have a true feeling of freedom and happiness within me. And I want that for every woman and every being on this planet, and it's possible for everyone on this planet. First off, yes, Renee, yes. But you have to realize, like, you can change and you can fail and you can mess up and you can go into things and you can decide, I don't want this anymore. You can go into 30-year relationships and decide, I don't want this anymore. You can go into, you know, school, apply as a go to school for a doctor. I've seen people do it. So many people have went to school as like a medical doctor and then decided, I don't want to do it anymore. So many people have went to college and got like degrees and decided, this ain't for me anymore. So many people have, and that's the thing. You guys have the freedom to do that. So if you, and that, the same thing, so if you want to change things up, you can, but the same thing goes for your mind. I'm going to go a little deeper into this. The same thing goes for your mind. If you have beat yourself up and made yourself feel shitty and felt shitty about yourself and felt hopeless and felt stuck and felt fear and felt doubt and self-sabotage and held yourself back in so many ways and felt unconfident and felt low self-esteem and felt like really, really not worthy or not good enough for what you want, you don't have to feel that way anymore. You can change that. You can think differently. You can feel differently. And it just all it takes, like changing your entire life is just looking at things differently. And there's so many ways to look at it. There's so many ways. So many ways to look at everything, just like that pen or that pencil. There were so many ways. But if you were so close-minded and you didn't care and you just, and sometimes we get that way. Sometimes we get so close-minded and we don't care and we feel the negativity and it's so strong and it weighs you down and it makes you feel like, oh my God, nothing can change. But what if it could? Like, that's the little shift you could make. If it could change, what would your life look like? If your struggle could be gone. Could be. We're not saying it will or it won't. We're just dancing with the idea. So dance with that idea if you feel hopeless or stuck. What if things could change? What if things could get better? Play with that idea. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to create energy around that idea, which is going to help you create motivation and belief in that happening. And that's all it takes, is just playing with an idea. Because, you know me, I was in a toxic relationship. I had a young baby. I was trying to have more. I didn't know what more was. I didn't know how to get out of my toxic shell. I was beating myself all the time. I just had a baby, so I hated my body. I definitely feel like I had, postpartum anxiety because I really struggled. And I felt like nothing could change. This was all I ever was, and this is all I will ever feel, and this is how it will always be. I had that belief, and I had that feeling all the time. Deep within me, I felt it. But when I started to play with the idea, okay, this girl just messaged me about Beachbody. That sounds kind of interesting. I'm not really sure, because that was the first step of everything. I didn't know the tools. I didn't know personal development. I didn't know subconscious rewiring. I didn't know spirituality. I didn't know all of that. I didn't know any of that. But the first step of me and my journey was stepping into a business I had no clue about, or no clue how to do, or no clue what was going to happen. And you don't have to step into a business for this to happen to you. Like, it just takes one little decision of like, what if I did start this? What if I did change? What if I did believe? What if I did shift my thought and I went into that? What could happen? And then actually taking that step, and then things started changing, because it was like an unraveling for me. I was unconfident, just had a baby, all that, you know, I've already said it. Didn't think that there was anything outside of myself, didn't think that anything could change. And then I stepped into a business. I had no clue what I was doing. I really didn't. Some girl on Instagram just messaged me and she was like, hey, I think you would be perfect for this. And I was just like, I don't know about this. And then I spent like $300 to get in, and it was the most I've ever spent on myself. And I went into it and I freaking tried it, and I didn't sign anyone. And you know, and that's how I knew I was growing, because in this business, personal development was a big freaking deal. And in this business, I was diving into personal development, and everything started to change. I started to see myself different. I started to feel different. I started to, you know, feel more confident, and I had never felt that way. What the hell is this? And it was just like things started to unravel. And then I didn't make anything. And that's how I knew I was changing. That's how I knew the personal development was working for me, was because I didn't make any money. I didn't sign anyone up. Nothing changed for me, but it was something within me that changed. It was that I had to step into that to actually go for what I wanted. I had to step into that for things to actually unravel and change. So and I knew it was changing because I failed. I failed at it. It didn't freaking work. It didn't work. I didn't sign anyone. I went through the hoops of like, you know, sign on your mom and sign on your husband and get them in, and you can rank up. And I tried to do that, and I did that, and I paid for them. I was paying for them every month. And it was a failure. And that's how I knew I was changing, because I didn't look at myself like a failure. I didn't look at myself like a failure. I wasn't a failure because it failed. I wasn't a failure because it didn't work out for me. And I started to realize that. And then I decided to jump into different things. I decided to try different things. Like, okay, maybe it's time to change. This isn't working. Maybe it's time to do something different. And I realized it wasn't working. And so I decided to do something different. And then I started to change. And like, I'm just trying to empower you guys and to inspire you guys to realize that you can change at any time. You aren't like bolted down, nailed down, like strapped to something for the rest of your life. You're not. You can change, you can move on, you can break free, you can break up, you can leave, you can decide differently, you can change. You have the power to do that. You have the power to do that no matter how fucking scary it may seem. No matter how much uncertainty. And that's the thing. Our brain plays a game with us. The self-sabotage happens because we see this thing we want, but we have no clue how it's going to work out. So our brain says, we don't have any certainty around that. We don't know what's going to happen. We're trying to keep you alive and you're safe. We don't know what's going to happen over there. So let's stay back and keep the normal no matter how shitty it is. Let's stay back and keep the normal, because no matter how shitty it is, at least we know what to expect. At least we know what's going to happen. So let's not go there. That's where you have to rewire your brain. That's where you have to reprogram your brain into realizing that it is safe to move over there. It is safe to change. It is safe to try something different. It is so safe to leave. It is safe to go. No matter how uncertain and how crazy or how scary it may seem, it is safe to do that. No matter if you fail, no matter if it is the most amazing thing of your life. So, that's what I have to share with you guys today. I hope you like it. I hope it empowered you. Let me know in the comments what you think of this video. If you liked it, if it helped you in any way, please share it so other people can see it. Because that's what I really just want to do, is help people. I want to help people. Like, literally, that's it. But if you guys are looking for something deeper, if you caught on to my message and you really it resonated with you, and you're feeling this way, and you're ready to break free, and you're ready to go for something you want, and you're ready and you just need a push, or you need some rewiring, or you need to you need work, deep healing work to do, I have a 5-week course. It's called Set Yourself Free. And it is going to be all about really setting yourself free, period. We struggle with emotion. We struggle with a lot of healing to do. We struggle with putting ourselves down. We struggle with not believing in ourselves. We struggle with all of this. And it feels so heavy and so negative, and we feel disconnected, and there is opportunity for you to break free. There is, you literally can light your own flame. You don't, the course is basically like, yes, I'm with you, but the course is basically a thing to take you through so you can light your own flame, so you can reignite your life, so you can see that there is belief, that there is power, that there is potential within you, there is confidence within you, there is happiness, there is fulfillment within you. And we just have to light that. And the minute you light that, the minute that you step into the work, the minute that you start to heal, everything starts to change. And you can change. It's safe to change. So if you are interested in that at all, let me know. You can message me, you can drop a fire emoji in the comments, and I will send you more information. But like it goes up, the price of it goes up every Monday. So it's set at a price right now for $333. So next Monday it'll go up. So every Monday it goes up until we start. And doors open right now. Doors close October 25th, and we start November 1st. So it's 5 weeks long, deep healing work. You get a workbook each week. You get meditations, affirmations. We're going to be using hypnosis, and there's going to be trainings. There's going to be so many amazing things. So if you guys are interested, definitely let me know so I can get you in, especially at the price that it's at right now. So I will see you guys later. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye. I love you.